Welcome to video 11 on the SCARM Model Railway Editor. Let's have a look how we can introduce track heights. This is a layout where I want to introduce track heights because if we have a look at 3D, obviously this is no good. I want this to be a viaduct with a height of say 90 millimeters. Let's see how we can accomplish that. The first step, what I did is introduce these colors. They are a great help to me, at least, to visualize the end result. The orange track, that is the track that is going to be on a height of 90, and the yellow track is the track that are going to be the ramps from 90 to 0. How to do these colors, that is shown in the previous video number 10. Let's zoom in on this yellow track where we want to create a ramp from 0 over here up to 90 over there. Well, the first thing to do when we want to work with heights is to enable the heights in this toolbar track height icon. It now shows little numbers at the track separations. They all are at 0 because we haven't changed any height yet. We want this yellow track to become a ramp, and the first thing to make a ramp is to select all the track that we want to be part of the ramp. In this case that is very simple because we already created this color, so all I have to do is double click, click, and everything that was yellow on this inner curve is now selected. This is the one I want to get at 90. So there are a couple of ways to do that. One of which is to just rotate your mouse wheel. And that goes quite slow. The number that shows are millimeters or inches. That depends on your setting. Is there a quicker way to get to 90? Yes, there is. Here at the toolbar we see an icon called numeric height input. Let's click that, and that enables to just type in a number. I want to go to 90. It is right now at 13, so let me type 90 and look what happens. Yeah, that was not what we wanted. It just adds it to the 13 that already was there. Let's click or hit backspace a couple of times to start at 0 again, and now type 90. Don't press enter, just type 90 without doing anything else, and look what happened. Over here we see intermediate values, and those are automatically calculated until we reach the end of the selection. Isn't that nice? Yeah, that is very nice. Let's do the outer lane too. Double click to select the whole track. Press the height marker over here. Type 90 and don't press enter. That's all. By the way, what we also see appearing is this percentage. That is the rate of climb of this ramp. Right now it is a yellow number. Yes, that is because it is higher than 2.5. Let me rotate the mouse wheel to go a little lower, and then we will see that the ramp below 2.5 is green. That is done because usually in model railways every ramp up to 2.5% is considered to be a safe ramp. Higher than that can be mean trouble to certain engines. If we would go up, then we see that the number can becomes yellow, but it can even become red. That is if we have a ramp higher than 4%. That's an area you best stay away from. When I click somewhere else, that percentage gets lost and I can't get it back. If I now click here again, it doesn't show. Only if I change the number it shows. There is a way to permanently show it. Let me first click here and then zoom in further. If we press the L key on the keyboard, Leonard, then repeated presses change the numbers that show inside the track. And one of the choices is percentages, like we see right now. These are the ramp percentages. So you can also select to show nothing, or normally it shows the length or the type number of the track in use. So yeah, when we are working with ramps, it's a good idea to have the percentages there. Let me zoom out by pressing / and the next task is to create a height of 90 for this whole orange track. Let's have a look how we can do that. Again, the first thing to do is select the whole orange track, which is again simple. Double click and it will be selected until it finds another color, which is over there. Now let's zoom in, and what we are going to do now, we see these numbers, these zeros over here. It doesn't matter which one you click, just pick one, change it to 90, and now the big trick is, now we do press the enter button, and that makes the whole selection the number that we entered, in this case 90. So let's do that again for the outer track. Let me double click to select it, press one of the height markers, change it to 90 and then press enter. Now look what happened over here. Let me try to get that in view a bit better here. We clearly see some gray arrows, which means this track is not connected anymore. After I changed this height, yeah, that is because I had been fooling around with this number to show the ramp percentage going red. Let me double click this yellow track again, click the height, and change the number to 90, and that should solve that problem. It's now connected again, the arrows are gone. By the way, 1 millimeter is not the tiniest steps that we can make. We can put a number on tens of millimeters. Suppose I want 88.7, that can be done. You can enter numbers with 1 decimal. Okay, let me hit / to zoom out, and let's have a look at 2 more little tricks. Suppose we created a height and a ramp like we did just now, and yeah, finally we decided the whole thing, height and ramp, should have a different height. Let's zoom in again on this yellow and the orange part. What we can do is select the entire orange part by double clicking, and then with the shift key add the ramp to it, and I want that entire selection, the yellow ramp and the orange part, to be, let's say, 10 millimeters higher. What we can do is click one of the height numbers, then press the Alt key on the keyboard and then rotate the mouse. Look what happens. This number changes, but all the other numbers, if you look carefully, they change with it. So but the ramp stays intact. It keeps climbing until it is over there. If I want to change this number, we can do that. It doesn't matter which number you choose. If you press the Alt key, all the other numbers change with the same amount. There's also another way to shift the height of a selection, and that is by using the toolbox. In the toolbox, the drop down has a height shift function. We can enter a number, let's say 5 millimeters, and now we can hit a button increase or decrease, and that will change the entire selection. Let's for instance have a look at this number 30 over there, and I increase it once, it is now 35. But also all the other numbers have changed accordingly, so I can quickly move an entire selection in a step that I selected myself over here. that also can come in handy. And especially if you first select your entire track, all your tracks, and then make this change, then you can elevate all your tracks a little bit above the ground if you like that or need that or whatever. Well, this was it with the heights, but now let's have a look at 3D again and see what happened. Automatically, we can see over here, automatically SCARM created, adjusted the ground level, as we can clearly see. But not everything worked out quite perfect. Let's say over here we had expected a bridge, and over here there are a couple of problems, and we can increase a little bit the accuracy with which this happens by using bridges and tunnels, and well, let's make that the subject of the next video.